Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Dr. Russo, the aesthetic mentor, and my business is to teach you. My business is to sort of share my knowledge of aesthetics and all the stuff we're going to talk about. I've been doing this for about 30 years, so I feel like I've got enough credibility, enough experience to tell you what to do and what not to do. And one of the most sort of recurring questions we get is about neurotoxins, and Botox is the one that everyone recognizes. But there's also several other neurotoxins you may have heard of: Jeuveau, Dysport, and Xeomin. They're all very similar, but yet they're different. Let me put it this way, the part that does the work, the part that actually paralyzes the muscle, is the same in all four, but there are little differences in terms of the proteins that are connected to them. And they all work and they're all great and they all have their place. And I just want to be sure you know about that. So what actually is a neurotoxin? People always say, well, what is it? Is it poison? Is it filler? Does it add volume? No. Neurotoxin is just something that works on the muscle, right, in your face. So when you animate, when you raise your eyebrows like this or make a mad face, the muscle contracts. The skin is attached to the muscle, so the skin moves where the muscle is. And when a muscle activates, it contracts. So the skin contracts with it, and it has to wrinkle somewhere. It has to fold somewhere in order to contract. So those lines over time get deeper and deeper as your skin gets thinner and thinner as you age. So neurotoxin goes in there and stops that process. So when you try to raise your eyebrows, you don't. Or you may still be able to raise them, but in a sort of reduced way, so those lines don't get any deeper. And people often say, well, how do I know when I need to do it? When should I do neurotoxin? Or how old should I be? It really is independent of age. It's really when you start having lines at rest, right? So when you, like right now, I'm not animated, but you can see I have lines at rest, so I definitely need Botox and I need an emergency treatment. But also in today's society, people are not looking to get old and try to get young again. They're looking to prevent aging. So we see a lot of people in their 20s who just are trying to prevent aging. And I think that's fine because they don't want to get the lines and try to reverse them. So what happens when we give someone neurotoxin is it actually gets taken up into the nerve. And I know everyone talks about the muscle because that's what you see, but it is a neurotoxin, meaning it works on the nerve. So we inject it in the muscle, and the nerve that innervates that muscle, the nerve that makes that muscle work, gets treated with Botox. Botox, or whatever neurotoxin you're using, I'm using Botox because that's the most common one that people recognize, gets taken up into the nerve and prevents the nerve from telling the muscle to move. It just interrupts that signal. There's no permanent damage, there's no permanent effects on it. After about 3 months for most people, sometimes 4, some people are lucky and get 6 months out of it, but after that period of time, the neurotoxin's gone and your muscle works normally again. So there's no permanent effects, there's no danger to it, it can't hurt you. Don't get me wrong, there can still be complications if the injector perhaps doesn't do it exactly right or gives you too much or too little or something like that. But no matter what happens with neurotoxin, it goes away in 3 months. And even if you have a complication or something that you don't like, it will go away in 3 months. However, on the other hand, if you have an amazing result and you love it and you think you look amazing, it goes away in 3 months. So there's nothing permanent about it. There's nothing scary about it. Go to someone who does a lot of it because, really experience is the best teacher. Once you've had a lot of experience, you always know what not to do and you're usually safer. So go to someone who's done a lot, maybe someone who's, treated one of your friends or family members, and see what you think. Botox can be used all over the face. It can be used anywhere where there's wrinkles. It can be used in the forehead, between the eyes, around the eyes, on the nose, on the lower face, chin, jaw, so neck even. So it could be used in a lot of different places. But be sure that you know your provider. Make sure that you've looked at their reviews. Make sure you talk to other people who've been treated by them because you don't really want to have a bad experience. So that's the basic nutshell answer on Botox or neurotoxins in general. There will actually be a 5th one coming out, I believe, either later this year or early next year. So keep your eyes peeled. So subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on Instagram, and if you're a nurse and you want to get started as an injector, and this is an incredible field to get started in, click on the link below and you find out more about our courses.